So next question is Supreme Court verdict on section 377 is a landmark judgment, but it also will spark many more challenges to inequality and discrimination. Analyze. So Supreme Court verdict on section 377 landmark judgment, but it also will spark many more challenges to inequality and discrimination. Analyze. So our best answer I find, yes, it is our good answer. So our shootout, he also gave his answer, Johan Mark. So I am what I am, so take me as I am. So I am what I am, so take me as I am. So the German thinker John Wolfgang von Goethe, so please नाम याद रखना नहीं चाहिए. So had said, so JVG, please remember, JVG also said, he had said, and this is precisely what the SC has taken into cognizance. The section 377, the Indian Penal Code, lies struck down by the court, thus giving the LGBTQ community the rights they were denied for more than a century and a half. So section 377 of the Indian Penal Code lies struck down by the court. कोर्ट स्टॉप कर दिया है, स्ट्राइक डाउन कर दिया है सेक्शन 377, और thus giving the LGBT community the rights they were denied for more than a century and a half. This judgment provides for क्या प्रोवाइड करते हैं, इक्वल ट्रीटमेंट इन द मैटर ऑफ पब्लिक एम्प्लॉयमेंट. इक्वल ट्रीटमेंट करना चाहिए पब्लिक एम्प्लॉयमेंट में, thus guaranteeing the LGBTQ community equality in matters of public employment, which is fundamental rights. So equality के बारे में बोल रहा है पब्लिक एम्प्लॉयमेंट में LGBT community के हुए. और सेकेंड इज it right the historic wrong of the community faced in the form of ignominy and obstruction as mentioned by Justice Indu Malhotra. So यहाँ पर injustice के बारे में बोल रहा है, it rights the historic wrong the community faced in the form of ignominy and obstructionism as mentioned by the Indu Malhotra. Third is it reaffirms liberty and right to life as being sacrosanct. It reaffirms liberty and right to life as being sacrosanct and being present due to individual being a human being and not by other religion. So it reaffirms liberty and right to life as being sacrosanct and being present due to individual being a human being and not any other person. तो राइट टू लाइफ के बारे में बोल रहा है, और जहाँ पर इंडिविजुअल बींग्स ह्यूमन बींग्स आर नॉट एनी अदर रीजन, सो बीइंग प्रेजेंट टू इंडिविजुअल बींग. फोर इज द जजमेंट confirms the constitutional premise of fraternity imbibed in the preamble. So इस जजमेंट कन्फर्म क्या रहता है, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन प्रॉमिस को दिखाता है, और फ्रेटर्निटी imbibed in the preamble में इसको दिखाता है. बट द जजमेंट throws open other issues of discrimination as well. So employment in private sector will still be an issue. And so ये judgment यहाँ पर issue क्या है, employment is in private sector में जो employment होता है तो still an issue and is bound to raise the issue of discrimination. जहाँ पर discrimination के बारे में बोल रहा है, inheritance rights will be questioned. rights के बारे में हम question सवाल कर रहे हैं. There is no law as on marriage and other than male female ones, कोई भी law नहीं है और marriage के ऊपर. So sexual harassment law will needed to include LGBTQ community. So sexual harassment के बारे में बोल रहा है और होते हैं तो if a liberal interpretation of 377 sets aside sexual intercourse. So if a liberal interpretation of section 377 sets aside sexual intercourse, so against the law of nature, then so small bestially be discriminated, but the judgment has not done so. So यहाँ पर बोल रहा है कि ना यहाँ पर sexual intercourse against the law of nature, then so shall bestiality be discriminalized, but the judgment has not done so. So इस judgment अच्छा नहीं काम कर रहा है. तो कॉलिंग एल जी बी टी क्यू पीपल, जहाँ पर एल जी बी टी कम्युनिटी के बारे में क्या बोल रहा है ना, विक्टिम्स ऑफ विक्टोरियन मोरालिटी एंड सेटिंग द ग्राउंड फॉर चेंज इन द फ्यूचर. सो जस्टिस चंद्रचंद सेड, क्या बोल रहा है, इट इज़ डिफिकल्ट टू राइट ए रॉन्ग बाई हिस्ट्री बाई, बट वी कैन सेट द कोर्स ऑफ फॉर द फ्यूचर. दिस केस इन्वॉल्व्स much more than discriminating homosexuality. It is about people wanting to live with dignity. तो यहाँ पर हमने और एक देख लूँगा शॉर्ट, अच्छा कोई लिखा तो है. ओके हम देख लेते हैं. आई थिंक हाँ, द डिसीजन यहाँ पर देखिए, पर कुछ क्वेश्चन सवाल कर रहा है. सो some sex marriages, will they be included in the backward class as they have been harassed for centuries? Will there be reservation for them for employment, education? So what about family laws and inheritance law, property law? What about adoption policies, as there are no laws for some sex couple child adoption? Will there be changed in school curriculum about the duality of genders? So इसके बारे में यहाँ पर सवाल कर रहा है. सो यहाँ पर कुछ सेक्शन के बारे में बोल रहे हैं. तो यहाँ पर सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑब्जर्व कर रहा है, हम जजमेंट दिखा रहा है. सेक्शन 377 इज irrational and indefensible and manifesto arbitrary. सेक्शन 377 वायलेट करते हैं राइट टू इक्वलिटी को, राइट टू डिस्क्रिमिनेशन ऑफ sex, caste and gender, right to freedom and privacy under the article 14, 15 and 19 and 21 respectively. Supreme Court says that section 377 of IPC was weapon to harass members of LGBT community, resulting in discrimination. Challenges क्या है? Despite this landmark judgment, community faces wide discrimination in employment opportunity, public facility and education. So patriarchal mindset of the people will not change towards the LGBTQ. Okay, and many community and foundation believe that sexual intercourse between the same sex is against the nature. So बहुत ही अच्छा लिखा है. So next हम देखेंगे, क्योंकि ये बहुत ही important topic है, तो इसका significance क्या है. तो sorry, significance क्या है? So significance is to upheld the sexual orientation or the fundamental law of the person, restores the equality before law of all sexual orientation and identities. Religion was not taken into consideration as was the case in 2013 judgment, and despite the path-breaking judgment and the mindset of the society will not change overnight, and the government has to step into make the lives of the LGBT community people worth living and not conforming themselves into closures. The government must raise awareness campaigns to cover wide sections. So establish a national community for the LGBT community and provide reservation in the field of education, jobs, etc. Frame laws regarding marriage, safety, etc. So here पर आपने देख लिया फुल. तो so thank you.